Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video on the CW. Today we've got an update in regards to what's going on at the CW. We've got 3 articles to break down because 2 shows have been cancelled that we need to discuss, and also the CW has been dropped in some areas. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future DCTV or CW videos later this year. Okay guys, so first things first, I want to remind you we live stream every Thursday, so as of when this video is going up I would have live streamed already, but we're going to be live streaming next Thursday as well, so come tune in, and shout out to everyone that joins and tunes in every week at 10 PM UK time. But for now, let's go ahead and get into today's main topic. So we're talking all things CW in this video. We're just updating you guys that I've been doing regular videos on the CW, the state of what Nexstar has got the CW into. Obviously recently we talked about how the CW lost a bunch of money. They're still nowhere near profitable, but there was also the announcement that they're acquiring WWE, like some specific shows that they can show, so that's an interesting step for them. Obviously they're going big with the sports because they know people are going to come for sports if it is available on their network. But in the case of this, we've got 2 shows that have been revealed to have been cancelled after just 3 episodes, and so those 2 shows are in fact Everything Else Burns and Run the Burbs. So we're going to talk about those shows in the context of the greater CW, the Arrowverse and everything like that, because the CW has really put their chips into, picking up these shows for cheap and bringing it onto their network to try and have content to fill in the spaces where the audience would tune in to watch Arrowverse shows, Riverdale, Jane the Virgin, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, or like iZombie. So the article that I'm breaking down is from Hidden Remote. You can go check it out in the link in the description below. They say what we've gotten in 2022 is a host of acquired series that have seen success in their home countries. So these shows basically premiered in the UK and Canada, that being the UK for Everything Else Burns and Canada for Run the Burbs, because they were released last year, and this year they're being released on the CW as like a rerun but on American TV, with the hope that they'd pop stateside, but that just hasn't been the case. The UK comedy has only aired 3 episodes on the CW and hasn't been able to crack at least 200,000 viewers on the night views, and has been averaging down from that. Run the Burbs Season 2 did premiere to 206k views, but fell below that number by episode 2 and was out of the 200,000s by episode 3. So you can tell instantly the numbers aren't adding up. They're not getting anywhere near the numbers that they want to be seeing. And this has been the case with CW, but now they're picking up random shows that have aired elsewhere and American audiences haven't heard about, and they're putting no money into promoting these shows, so literally no one knows unless you randomly go on the CW on your TV and you're like, oh, what's this Run the Burbs show? And you're like, oh, interesting, it's a Canadian show, but I've never heard of it before. And so I think people just lose interest because there is no core audience for these shows. They're just like random shows that they picked up. And so let's continue this article. So this would explain why the network has pulled the shows from the lineup, though there's been no confirmation that they won't return to air in 2024, or at least be able to be streamed on CWTV.com or the CW app. So the latter has been done for the growing list of series that have been removed from the schedule over the past several months, including shows like Barons, Bump, Down to Earth with Zac Efron, and Fantastic Friends. So these new 2 shows add on to the many shows that the CW have acquired and have thrown away because they put it into their primetime schedule and somehow they expect numbers, but they're not going to get numbers, as we said, because there's no audience. They're picking up random shows. They're putting no money into actually telling audiences what these shows are about and why you should be excited and tune in every week. They want to save money, so they're not doing that. They're just buying these shows and chucking them on the primetime schedule, hoping and praying one of them hits, but none of them have hit so far, and that's why they've been all pulled by the network already. And so obviously they have other shows that they bought and they're still running those shows, and there'll be new shows that will be replacing them. So reruns of Whose Line Is It Anyway, which is always airing on the CW, is going to be replacing them, and also The Great American Joke Off will be starting on Thursday, November 16th at 9 PM Eastern Time. Will tell if the UK's comedy removal from the CW will impact its Season 2 renewal with the network. It had previously gotten the green light for a second season ahead of its US premiere. At the time, Brad Schwartz had the following to say: "Everything Else Burns is a brilliant and biting, funny series that is as much about family as it is about the end of days. There is truly no other comedy on television like it, and we are thrilled to be working alongside the immensely talented writers and producers to bring the uniquely hilarious Lois family to the CW for another season. Perhaps the thinking has changed on the comedy's placement in the full schedule and it'll be moved to the summer, but we don't know as of right now." So that is a show that the CW actually themselves renewed for a season, and so that means it would basically be produced by the CW, but I guess it would just be filmed in the UK. So it's weird. Literally on October 24th they renewed it, and then literally when this article came out, which was 1 day ago, so that's literally about 2 to 3 weeks later, it's been pulled from the network already. I don't understand why they would do that. Why would, they show so much faith that they renew it for a second season and then just pull it straight away? Like, I know the numbers aren't good and that's the reason, but why is Brad Schwartz going out there and hyping up that this show is going to be really good and, we're going to get a second season of this show? And so yeah, it's part of the CW's current acquisition heavy full slate and a programming lineup set by new owner Nexstar to avoid the impacts of the now ended writer strike and the ended actor strike. So basically it's filling the roles that Superman Lois would have, or other shows like All American basically would be in that primetime schedule. But this is the new strategy that they're going for, obviously, as well as sports and different types of content that they're trying to get into. But for season 2, if this show actually came out, the CW would be a creative producer for season 2, so they wouldn't necessarily dictate everything, and that's because the first season was run by Channel 4 and Universal Studios. So that is obviously something that is quite peculiar. Like, you don't see a reversal every day in terms of a show being picked up for a new season and then being thrown away and cancelled literally a few weeks later. Like, I think it's kind of unheard of, if I'm being completely honest. But that's just how the CW is working right now. So we'll have to wait and see if this show, and again, I'm not saying that all of you guys are going to be interested in this comedy from the UK, but it just is an example for you guys to see how the CW is acting right now and why I think it's definitely doomed. And I've been talking about that for a while. But one final article we have to break down is this one from MSN.com, and it's to do with the CW being dropped by a affiliation that they had in Detroit. So WADL-TV, which is like, the affiliate in Detroit, which basically airs all the shows in that certain area in the catchment, has announced that it has stopped airing the CW network programming in the Detroit market. This is very big. So in a press release announcing the move, owner Kevin Adele blamed delays in the FCC approving the station's sale to Mission Broadcasting. So this is obviously related to their own station rather than the CW. And so basically they're removing the CW and they're putting different shows on and having different channels instead. It's obviously not directly to do with the CW being the main reason that they've dropped this, but I think it's significant because you've seen reports out there that certain networks aren't liking what Nexstar is doing. And I'm not talking about networks like the CW or CBS or NBC. I'm talking about these stations which would basically broadcast it to the people in the area. So you can see people quite infuriated by what the CW has been doing and how bad and low quality their content is currently right now. So there's not much that they have to offer. And I think you can see that with the programming that they got and the lack of belief that they have in their own programs, apart from the shows that are coming back, which they're obviously hyping up. So whether it be Superman Lois or All American, even though those shows aren't necessarily going to continue very long, with Superman Lois being recently announced to end, the CW, even though they don't like spending money on these shows, they know that they're going to draw an audience. And so I really wonder when Superman Lois Season 4 comes out, and if it does perform well, what is the CW going to do? Are they going to regret ending the show at this point? or are they going to go scrambling to try and get more DC shows in the future? We'll have to wait and see, but that does it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you have been enjoying these CW updates. I know they're not strictly to do with DC or Arrowverse or anything like that, but obviously I'm just trying to link it in and give you an update about the network as a whole while Superman Lois is still on the CW. So that does it for this video. Please be sure to leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed this video. Also subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. And for now, you can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.
I see red.